Do you want to provide a memorable experience at your event? Book Pin Bounce at 561-727-5488.
Pin Bounce offers bounce houses, cotton candy machines, tables, chairs, and other event services in Palm Beach County, Florida. We offer all you need in one place. Follow us on social media using @PinBounce, and to book your event, call us at 561-727-5488. Remember, we put the P in party with the Pin Bounce touch.
Go Pin Bounce!
Clad's Resources and Consulting values its customers. Our planner Footsteps to My Vision is a 13-month planner that can be used for 5 years. It walks you through SMART goals, SWOT analysis, action planning, and holds you accountable through 3 monthly check-ins. We work only with top quality materials, innovative designs, and verified suppliers, which are guaranteed to deliver to our high expectations, because when it comes to our customer satisfaction, there's no room for compromise. Made with high-quality PU leather and paper planner helps you focus on achieving your goals by giving you a sense of personal and professional satisfaction. Some of the amazing features of this product: Vision Board Planner, Luxury Pen, 8GB USB flash drive, wireless mouse, ultra-elegant packaging box, available in 5 stunning colors: black, red, gold, pink, navy blue. Material: PU leather. 13-month planner. Elastic band for easy handling. Our Footsteps to My Vision is available at Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, our website, and at Walmart. You may also follow us at www.cladsresources.com, Instagram, Clads Resources, Facebook, www.facebook.com/cladsresources/.
Welcome to the Talk with Clads podcast. Your host is Katie Ann, an island girl on a journey with her guests to learn about their backgrounds, businesses, passions, experiences, life lessons, and wins. Come and laugh, cheer, learn, and plan with us. My friend, take some time to come and talk with Clads.
Hello world, welcome to Talk with Clads. My name is Katie Ann and I will be your host for today. Welcome everyone. We have a special guest in the house today. And she is what I call a girl boss, female boss, woman boss, whatever you want to call it. She is it. Her name is Louna Avril. And she is from Anchor 365. So everyone, please welcome Louna. Louna, welcome.
Hi, Katie Ann. Thank you so much for inviting me to, talk a little bit more about what we do here at Anchor 365. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
We're glad to have you just come and sit and talk with us on Clads. So introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them a little bit about your background and how Anchor 365 started.
Well, I have been working in the healthcare industry for over 2 decades now. I have been in the healthcare industry helping people and businesses maximize their true potential. Prior to being the CEO and founder of Anchor 365, I was a licensed nursing home administrator. I was tasked with overseeing several departments, including nursing, managing a multi-million-dollar budget, and ensuring compliances of, local, state, and federal regulations. I also have a master's, an MBA from Nova Southeastern University with a conference in entrepreneurship. And I did my undergrad at University of New Haven, where I attained a business administration and marketing degree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So absolutely qualified, educated. So what made you decide? Because we met in a previous life or work journey, I like to say. And you were a nursing home administrator doing the thing, and you were consistently recognized for doing such an amazing job and running a good ship, a well-manned ship, I like to say. So what made you branch out on your own?
Well, I've always wanted to have my own business. That's why when I went and got my MBA at Nova, I focused on entrepreneurship. But I was always, looking for that right opportunity. And during the pandemic, and definitely as COVID started to ease, I felt like there was an opportunity for me in the healthcare field because I was looking at all of the shortage in the field. And I felt like, you know what, I can definitely assist, hospitals, nursing homes, just identifying staff, qualified staff to help with the shortages and also to build their workforce. Because I feel like the healthcare field, it's a beautiful field. And we knew already that the field was broken in many ways. And it's no fault to any of the individuals who are working in the industry, but there's just a huge shortage because the need is great. We have a lot of people retiring. We have a lot of people getting sick and they need the service. And our healthcare professionals, they're heroes. And we realized that even more during the pandemic. So I said, you know what, I want to help with the critical staffing shortages. And I really want to work on attracting more people to the workforce to help with the gap.
Okay. So let's take a little step back, Louna, because a lot of people, we use the word nursing home, skilled nursing, long-term care, all those. So describe to the audience what the environment looks like for when you go to a nursing home so they can picture the industry itself.
Okay. So when you go into a nursing home, most nursing homes, they have two components. You have the skilled, which is you coming in because you had an injury and you're coming in and you need rehab. So you're coming in temporarily. The rehab staff are going to work with you and the nurses. All of the clinical team are going to get together and they're going to help you to recover and make it back home to your loved one or go back to assisted living or go to your personal home, whichever, whatever it is or wherever you were before, you can return home. The other piece is that someone can come in and they need long-term care, either because they have retired or they may have some kind of medical issue that requires them to have 24-hour care. So a lot of times people think that, you're going to go into the nursing home and that's where you're going to, it's because you're going to die when you get there. And you heard that a lot about, during COVID, that nursing homes were getting a bad rep. But it's really, really, truly, it doesn't mean that it's end of life. You still can have a quality of life when you get into a nursing home. It's just that you need a little bit more support that either your loved ones cannot provide or you cannot receive in your prior setting. And now you need to come in and get 24-hour care. So you're going to have activities. You're still going to be able to participate in certain activities. It can be within the facility, outside of the facility. You have your meals there. And every facility, depending on the level of care, the type of meals you receive is different. But it's always going to, our goal is to make sure in the nursing home that you are receiving, meals of your choice. So it's still being patient or resident centered. That's basically what it is when you move into a long-term care or a skilled setting temporarily.
Okay. And then the types of people or employees that you would typically see in a nursing home, it ranges. So you have your nurses, you have the food services. What other areas would you see working in a nursing home?
So you have your maintenance staff, you have your administrator who is overseeing the facility, you have your director of nursing that's overseeing the clinical aspect, you have your certified nursing assistant who are working with the residents on a day-to-day basis. You have housekeeping, you have your food service director, you have your social worker, you have your MDS coordinator. Those individuals are making sure that they're looking at the medical records and certain things to make sure that we're billing accordingly. You have your business office manager. It's a lot of people who are working together to ensure that the facility is running great, following all the guidelines, the federal regulations, because we're highly, highly regulated. And then also ensuring that the residents are receiving the care that they need. And we usually use the term residence because even if you're there on a short-term basis, because it is your home and the goal is to have it patient or resident-centered care focused because it is all about you. We're visitors coming into your home.
Yeah. And so COVID strikes and we have all these residents, and just think about all the types of job titles that Louna just listed. And then they're affected in many ways because they're considered essential workers. So they still had to go to work. Meanwhile, schools are closed down. So the kids are home. Daycare centers are closed. And a lot of places where they used to have the support system, it's no longer there, or they're overworked. So then hence comes a shortage, or people just exit because they didn't know what COVID is or what COVID was. And there comes the shortage. And so you were able to identify that critical need. And that's how your Anchored 365 starts. So what would you say? How do you differ from your competitors?
The way I differ from my competitors is, yes, we all provide similar services, but having been, and I still sometimes work as an administrator, if needed, I make sure that when I am hiring someone, that I am vetting them. I am not just hiring you because you are a nurse, you are a CNA, you're an administrator or so forth. I make sure that I vet you and that you understand that these are our values, these are our philosophies, and it has to be aligned with ours. And I also look at the clients that I have. These are the facilities that I am serving, and make sure that you're a great match for them. Because sometimes you may have some healthcare professionals that want to come in and they don't understand that when you're going in there, you have to be able to adapt to different work environments. You have to have strong clinical and critical skills. You have to be able to work under pressure. You have to be solution focused. That sometimes you may go in there, you're going in on a crisis sometimes. So they may not have all of the resources. They may not be able to really teach you everything, but you have to have certain skill sets. So when you go in, so if you don't know the EMR system, if you're unable to work with trach patient, and this is the individuals that they serve, if you can't work under stress, this may not be the right facility for you that I may place you. I have to find, the right setting, or you may not be able to work for me. And I may also advise you that, go and get some experience, get a full-time or a part-time job in whatever setting it is. Either it's a hospital, it's the nursing home, get that training, and then come back and do agency work. Because when you coming in and you working for an agency and the facilities are paying a lot of money and they're trusting us to identify individuals who have experience to come in and work. So I can't just pick just anyone, because some companies, they'll just hire you. But I don't do that because I know what it feels like on the other end. When you come in, I'm expecting you to be able to perform, a task for me. We have expertise in risk and crisis management, and we're committed to helping our clients build and strengthen their team while navigating and evolving through the healthcare industry. So if my staff come to me and they tell me that, I noticed this, I noticed that in a setting, I have no problem with calling the administrator or calling the director of nursing and communicating with them and letting them know, this is what we saw. How can we assist you? Or, just so they know, because sometimes they may not see everything that is going on because they have a crisis. So I want to let them know I can still bring information to you and to communicate with you and ask you, what did you notice when my staff was on the floor? Was there any issues? Is there anything that you feel like we can do better? Because it's a partnership. I want them to succeed. And we're here to advocate for nursing professionals by addressing the challenges that they encounter, their daily in their work environment. And we're definitely devoted to expanding and enhancing the talent pool within the healthcare industry. That's why sometimes I may tell someone you need to go work there full-time or part-time, or, in directing people to career resources and saying that you can go there and see if they'll be able to pay your tuition based on your income so you can enter this healthcare field.
Yeah. Healthcare is tough. One of the things I noticed that you said even on your website was that, the system is broken. It's a very regulated field, and there are many loopholes sometimes that people tend to try to jump through. So to hear that your business strategies is aligned with what your ideals and values are, that's really refreshing to hear. You know what I mean? So for you just providing the advocacy on both the candidate and as an employer yourself. That's absolutely refreshing to hear. So what motivates you on a day-to-day as an entrepreneur?
Definitely learning, because when being in this field on the other side, I mean, I definitely enjoy learning new things every day. If it's technology, different ways of recruiting and so forth. I love it when I am able to meet my client needs, or when I'm able to communicate with my staff. Either it's to help them grow professionally, because I had someone the other day, she was getting ready to pursue a position as a director of nursing and assisted living. And, we kind of talked about it just to help her prepare for that opportunity. So those things motivate me and encourage me, because I love communicating with people. The other thing that we do, like, the services that we provide, I also provide direct placement. So I get to do a little bit of career coaching with individuals just to prepare them for their interview, or to help them try to figure out what they want to do next. Because you have, director of nursing administrators who are looking for something else to do. They want to transition. So I like to have those kind of dialogues with individuals, because we don't just provide the, per diem staffing, but we provide the contracted staffing. So where people can work maybe 13 weeks or more with you, so that way you have that consistency. We have the contract for hire, where our staff is able to work with and at the facility for a while, and then that gives the employer, the client, the opportunity to assess and see if they may want to hire that person, instead of them paying all the onboarding fee and then realizing that I don't really want this isn't the right candidate. But then this gives you opportunity to assess the person. And then we do consulting services. So we may assess and help you with ways to save money. We provide, quality assurance and performance improvement services, interim leadership services, risk assessment, and education, or linking you to certain educational tools. So it motivates me to be able to help individuals. I get motivated just by learning different things, interacting with people. Those things really motivate me. And just knowing that I'm doing my part to help, strengthen and grow the healthcare industry.
Yeah. I mean, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So as a customer, both as a candidate and as an employer, give us a glimpse of what your customer would experience if they said, okay, hey, I want to apply for such and such a job. What's the process like as a candidate? And then also on the flip side, if I say, Louna, I want to hire you as a consultant.
So as a candidate, when someone reaches out to me, I let them know, this is what I have available. So then they tell me if any of those things fit them. And I also usually post my positions, my needs and so forth. So you're applying for it. Let's say you're applying to be a nurse with us. So then I tell you what the process is, because we do everything electronically. Every now and again, I may have someone come into my office. So I have you provide me all of your credentials that I need. And this is, of course, after I've vetted you. I've had conversations with you to make sure that it's the right fit. So we've decided, okay, we've had a dialogue. We feel like this is the right fit. So we're going to move forward. So you give me, I tell you where to go. I give you a link and I tell you these all the information, you need to upload. Just the onboarding, the COVID, your license, your driver's license, your nursing license, everything that I need. I have a checklist that I send to you and I tell you to upload it. Then I make sure you fill out all of the paperwork that needs to be completed. Then we do what we call, once you've given me all the paperwork, everything looks good. I've checked your references and so forth. Then I am going to now tell you, I want you to fill out a skills checklist. And the skills checklist allows me to see what your clinical capabilities are. And depending on your score, I will see if we need to move forward in the process or not, or if I need to recommend that, again, you may need to work on this particular skill set before you should pursue working, with, at an agency. The other thing is, it depends on my client too. Some clients may say that I want the individual to take a test. So I do have a test for you to take. Again, that allows me and the client to see what your clinical capabilities are. Once you've done all of that, then we do the drug test and the background checks. And once everything clears, you go through the entire process. Of course, through the onboarding piece too, we're doing the orientation, letting you know certain things that is required, from abuse, from infection control. There's a lot of things that we go over during the orientation process just to make sure that you are ready for wherever we're going to place you. So once everything is done, then I reach out to you when I have an opening. You tell me what your availability is. Then we start to connect you with our clients. That's mainly, I described the contract for hire, and the interim is basically the same thing too.
Yeah. And you know what? You just touched on what your philosophy is, which your website, it says, we're driven to deliver the highest level of service and cultivate an experience that will propel our company and our client forward. And when you said you screen, you really do screen.
Yeah.
So your customers and, on both ends, on the candidates end and on the employers end, they're getting top-notch service because you're making sure that every box is checked. So if I am a candidate or an employer and I want to contact you, where is your website? Where can I find your information?
Our website is anchor365.com. And also, a lot of times individuals contact us, and our phone number is 561-208-5323.
Wow. So can you repeat the telephone number again?
Yes, 561-208-5323.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Do you want to provide a memorable experience at your event? Book Pin Bounce at 561-727-5488.
Pin Bounce offers bounce houses, cotton candy machines, tables, chairs, and other event services in Palm Beach County, Florida. We offer all you need in one place. Follow us on social media using @PinBounce, and to book your event, call us at 561-727-5488. Remember, we put the P in party with the Pin Bounce touch.
Go Pin Bounce!
Clad's Resources and Consulting values its customers. Our planner Footsteps to My Vision is a 13-month planner that can be used for 5 years. It walks you through SMART goals, SWOT analysis, action planning, and holds you accountable through 3 monthly check-ins. We work only with top-quality materials, innovative designs, and verified suppliers, which are guaranteed to deliver to our high expectations, because when it comes to our customer satisfaction, there's no room for compromise. Made with high-quality PU leather and paper planner helps you focus on achieving your goals by giving you a sense of personal and professional satisfaction. Some of the amazing features of this product: Vision Board Planner, Luxury Pen, 8GB USB flash drive, wireless mouse, ultra elegant packaging box, available in 5 stunning colors: black, red, gold, pink, navy blue. Material: PU leather. 13-month planner. Elastic band for easy handling. Our Footsteps to My Vision is available at Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, our website, and at Walmart. You may also follow us at www.cladsresources.com, Instagram, Clads Resources, Facebook, www.facebook.com/cladsresources/.
You're listening to Talk with Clads. Find more resources online at cladsresources.com. Now back to the show with your host, Katie Ann.
So you sound like you're doing a lot of work just to make sure that your customers are getting the best service that they can possibly get. And, with work, it can affect your family. So how has being an entrepreneur affected your family life?
My family is very supportive, but my husband definitely, keeps me grounded. He does help me sometimes, try to make sure I'm having that work-life balance. But now it's been a year now, a little over a year since I launched the business. So there are times definitely in the beginning where I am working, around the clock. But the reason too that I put so much effort in making sure that I screen, and then it's not to say that I haven't placed someone and it wasn't the right setting for that individual. And I will talk to that individual and I'll tell my client, thank you for letting me know. But it's because I'm still an administrator at heart. So I know what it's like. And I know that the industry is heavily regulated and that we're dealing with individuals' lives. So I have to make sure that a person that I am putting there, I don't set them up for failure. I don't set the facility up for failure, nor, the resident up for failure. I just want to make sure. So of course, nothing is ever perfect, but I am, very, very much committed to that, to ensuring that, we provide great service.
Yeah. And, with healthcare going on, especially after COVID, many people reevaluated where they were in life. Is this what? Because people were dying. You didn't know what this pandemic was. And you had a lot of nurses, and not only in healthcare, but more so it was magnified in healthcare, was the Great Resignation, where people were just leaving left and right. They were walking off shifts, and they were burnt out. So being in the industry now, and you've been in industry for a long time, what do you think about the state of healthcare, especially in skilled nursing and long-term care right now?
Right now, you still have individuals who are still stressed and burnt out. But at the same time, I do see individuals coming back. So nurses that were traveling or working solely for agencies, some of them are coming back full-time, or coming back part-time, or doing per diem. But they do want flexibility. So you may have, some facilities are open to 12-hour shifts. So that way that person works 3 days a week. They have the flexibility to spend time with their loved ones or pick up shifts elsewhere because they're still struggling financially. There's a lot of our nurses, our CNAs who are struggling financially. I see some CNAs now who are saying, I don't want to work in a hospital or nursing home setting and have so many residents or patients to work with. Mm-hmm. I want to work in private duty or home health. So it's definitely a candidate market, and they have the flexibility to move within different sectors within the healthcare industry. And I think that's beautiful. I find that the hospitals, because I may be talking to one of my nurses, they were working as a nurse in a nursing home, and they're like, Louna, I have an opportunity to do ICU or travel. I said, why don't you just go do ICU for now? Because travel will always be there. The rates are going down. Before, they were not just willing to let nursing home nurses go into the hospital. So this is your opportunity. The hospital open. They're going to be training you. Then go ahead and do that. You see nursing homes and everyone, are willing more to take new grads and train them. But what I think that nursing homes should be open to also, but they have to structure and set themselves up for this, is that when you have a hospital nurse who wants to come into the nursing home, either in the management level, nursing homes are not always open to that. Yeah. And I understand why sometimes too, because I don't always like to hire a nurse that works in a hospital to go work in a nursing home. I have a very candid conversation with them, letting them know that the patient, the resident to staff ratio is different. Mm-hmm. It's higher. The demand is higher. We do a lot more for our residents because they reside there. So you spending a lot of time communicating with them, their families, you're taking them to activities, you're doing this, you're involved in a lot. So it's not just what you may do in the hospital, and your patient or resident load is a lot less. But there are people who want to transition, and I think we should, be able to allow them to transition. So I think the nursing homes need to do a lot better with that. I feel also that we need to do better. And we saw that a lot during COVID with providing some type of support with child and elder care support.
I agree
because
on that
when
one.
you saw some of the daycares, we're like, all right, these are our heroes. We're willing to, offer free daycare, offer at a discounted rate. But we need to figure out to give them that support so they can come to work and have peace of mind. We need to provide more mental health resources, improve mental health resources for them, because it is exhausting. It's a lot, because you hear nursing staff say sometimes, I just conducted CPR on one of my residents, and here comes my manager just getting ready to talk to me about all the things that I didn't do or the next thing, so, and they're still trying to recover that I just either lost a resident or, save someone's life. So, so we still need to be human about it and be supportive and understand that, they go through a lot on the floor when they're providing care. I think we should also be open to, in the healthcare field, with creating opportunities to recruit overseas and to use agencies that already offer those services. because there are other people overseas that are willing to do. We do it very well for the hospitality, but not just, CNAs, but also for nurses or doctors, anyone in the healthcare field. We have to be open to that. And people think a lot of times working with agencies is a bad thing. I used to think that too before, until COVID happened. And I realized, like, you know what? This is a partnership. We can work together. And I understand that companies are trying to get out of agency, because I worked on an interim basis not too long ago, and I was able to reduce their agency usage by 73% within the short period of time that I was there. I understand that. But at the same time, you don't want to get agency out too quickly, where then your staff are being burnt out.
Yeah, I agree with you, Luna, because let you get back to your point, because it's twofold. Do you think, right? Because you're saying like there's all these things that employers need to offer to their employees right now. And you've been the employer, and you are the employer, both for yourself, and you've been in that setting for someone else, and you've been on the placement side. So do you think that employers have reached a mindset or have realized it's a candidate market as yet? Or they're still in the frame like it's an employer's market and you have to meet my demands?
No, a lot of them understand it's a candidate market because they've increased their rates. They are open to hiring new grads and training them. And some, like I said, are willing to do 12-hour shifts because they understand that. But we still have a lot more work to do. You know, we utilize technology to some degree, but we need to fully utilize technology. You got to be able to work smart and reduce the documentation that nurses may have to do by having some things populate. And it's not their fault. It's just healthcare in general, because you have to be reimbursed by insurance and documentation that sometimes you find yourself documenting so much that you're not able to spend as much time as you would like with your resident. But the more you utilize certain technology and it populates instead of you having to reduce the redundancy, the better it will be. So I do feel like employers in healthcare, they understand that, but their challenge is also money. Yeah. And then I think with nursing homes, we are a lot of times behind, but they do understand it, and it's a challenge because the industry is changing so much. There's a lot of nursing homes that have closed. There's a lot of nursing homes that have been bought out by other companies. So it's like a lot that's happening, and I do see some good things that are occurring, and that can occur to help this industry forward because we need it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there are definitely the challenges. You know, I've been in the same industry as you are. And when you mentioned the documentation, I thought about a time where being the HR person in a facility, and the nurse had literally just saved someone's life, and she didn't do all her documentation, so she was staying behind to document, and she didn't clock out on time. And following week, I had a conversation with her manager, and her manager wanted to write her up for not clocking out on time. And I'm like, well, like, given the circumstances, like, are you kidding me? Did you just think this process through where it's like she had to do all these other things to catch up, being a part of that, what do you call it? I forgot the name of the team that they used to call it. And, that's draining itself to see someone expire, and then you still have to catch up on whatever work you have to do. And then you're gonna write her up afterwards. So that was something I thought about, where we have expectations of the nurses, not only the nurses, the CNAs, and it's just the industry itself. And then we have to look at the government reimbursement. Is it meeting, that's why they sometimes have to cut staff, because they're not getting the necessary reimbursement. Everything is run very thinly, I would say. So as an entrepreneur, like, what would you say is your biggest fear, and how do you manage that?
It's always trying to figure out how to pivot, because yes, people are trying to reduce agency. So then you're looking at different ways to assist them. So I'm not trying to force you or, to use agency, and I couldn't even force them even if I tried, but I want them to still see there's value in the services that we provide. So if it's consulting, if it's direct hire. So we focus more on the management aspect. So I can find you a unit manager. I can help you find an administrator, or even if you need someone just temporarily, we can assist with that. So we're trying to help you stabilize as you're getting out of crisis, but we can still help you with the direct placement. So it's always trying to figure out how to pivot, always trying to figure out what other services that you can offer to branch out. Sometimes it's coaching administrators, because when I place an administrator somewhere, I check up on them for the first 3 months, just to see what is going on. Yes, my client hired me, but I still want to have a conversation with that individual. And I may not, my client didn't tell me I have to follow up with the person for the first 3 months, but I just do that just to make sure that, they're comfortable. And from administrator to administrator, I can be supportive. And even if they're not an administrator, but I've worked and I've supervised people, I can help you manage through whatever issue that you may be having so you can feel comfortable to go and advocate for yourself before that individual says, you know what, this is not the right place for me.
Yeah. And talk about customer service. And not only that will make that person, if that position doesn't work out, that person will come back to you for other positions.
Yes.
Absolute customer service. So what's one thing you wish you knew before you began this journey?
That it can be lonely at times and not everyone is willing to share with you information with you. So I think that's why I reached out to you also, because I was like, it was you and someone else, and let's have lunch, let's share ideas, let's see what's going on. What can we learn from each other? What's some of the challenges? Yeah, that it can be lonely, and that you have to pace yourself. It's okay. Just because you see another company doing something, you have to understand that it takes a lot of work. You have to build it, and then it will happen. And you don't have to be like everyone else. It's okay. I pride myself in understanding that it's a boutique type of service that I provide. It's not about how many people I serve, but how well do I serve the ones that I am working with. So it's definitely can be lonely, but it's very rewarding at the same time.
Yeah. You say like sometimes, being a journey, being in the space of entrepreneurship, and sometimes you have people that don't want to share ideas. Do you think it's a community thing, or has that not been your experience where it's one group not wanting to share, but you have other groups that are willing to share?
There are other groups that's willing to share because YouTube University, I find a lot of, individuals that are willing to share. And it's okay to get a coach. I got a coach, and then we have these groups, and so we can communicate and we share experiences with one another. So that way, you are a part of a community. So that way, it's not everyone that's not willing to share, but some people are willing to help and support. And I'm always willing to help and support.
Yeah. And I feel the same too. Like, I feel like if that person wins, I'm winning too. So I believe in community, the community itself, but not everyone. I just an observation from my part. Sometimes, and maybe it's a cultural thing where I'm like, I'm not going to say one culture like to share and some other cultures like to share. And I wish that would change because we are all in it together. And if we are able to do it as a team, then, our bandwidth is a lot larger. So what life lesson would you say that you've learned the hard way so far? Along this journey?
Life lesson. That's a very good question. I've learned, and I'm still working on this, that marketing is something that I have to get better at, that it's okay to reach out to individuals. And if they say no, it may be no today. It may not be no all the time, or they may refer someone to you, or it may just be a no, and it's okay. You just move forward. Don't let it stop you and paralyze you. You must continue to market and to reach out to individuals. Because my coach would tell me, stop thinking as an administrator. You're on the other side now. Because I'm always trying to justify, well, I understand because I was an administrator and I understand that it's expensive as this. Or when you're trying to figure out your rates, if you're providing consulting services, you are not charging what you're really worth. Because again, you're thinking about the other, individual, because I'm a person I like to serve, but I have to remember I'm an entrepreneur. It takes time for me to do what I need to do. I'm providing great services and skill sets to that individual. So if those are my rates, those are my rates, and be comfortable with that.
Your rate is your rate. I mean, they're getting top-notch services.
Yeah.
And we were having a conversation pre-taping. I thought about this as women sometimes, and this is not going to be a man-woman podcast, but just an observation. And you can tell me if you agree or not, that men are more likely to negotiate their rate than a woman is. So if you tell someone, hey, this is the cost of my services, and they'll try to negotiate you down. But if a guy comes in and he says, listen, this is my rate, or this is what I'm asking for a paycheck, and if you even give him a number, he's going to negotiate it to what he thinks he deserves. Where a woman, on the other hand, they're a little bit more like, well, okay. So do you think sometimes when, like you're giving well, I don't want to say because you're a female, but it's just, me rambling and saying it's an observation. But do you think that has anything to do with it? Because I feel like sometimes we definitely will bend.
We settle. Yeah, we settle because sometimes, yes, that's true. Because, and it can be race, it can be anything. And I'll use my husband as an example. I'll say, well, this person recruited me once and they want me to start on X date. And he said, well, they recruited you. You're happy where you are. Tell them, although you're going to be giving your employer 30 days, tell them you'll start in 60 days. I said, but he said, they recruited you. You are not the one that was looking for them. You said you need to do X, Y, and Z. You want to attend your son's graduation. Tell them your start date. And I was like, I felt uncomfortable. And I went in and I said it, and they were like, okay. And I was like, oh, but I was nervous and everything. So that's the things that I've been trying to get comfortable in, because my husband will say, well, that's your rate. Even I had someone I was working with. He was like, okay, Louna, we want to hire you as a consultant. And I said, okay, and I'm like dancing around what my rate is. He's like, just tell me what the rate is, Louna. And I told him what the rate is. He said, what I told him, they pay their consultant $100 more than what I told him.
Yeah.
And so you see, it's like, you have to be comfortable with negotiating for yourself. So I do find myself sometimes as a woman being, a little nervous about doing that. But then I have to remember and say, okay, you know how you're going to go above and beyond. You know that you're very skilled in this area. You know the amount of work that it takes for you to do what you need to do. So you need to make sure that you are charging individuals accordingly.
Yeah, you're charging for your worth. You're charging, This is the time I'm going to put in. This is the credentials I have. You're paying me for expert services. And so my price is my price.
Yeah. And my coach would tell me that too. Louna, stop. Your price are your price. And if they say no, it is okay.
Yeah.
That person didn't value you or they can't afford it. And it's okay. So you have to move on. That is not the right person for you.
Yep. And that's very sensible advice. So that brings me to ask you this. What's the most sensible thing you've heard someone say once you started Anchor 365?
Another great question. The most sensible thing that I've heard someone say to me since I've started Anchor 365. I think, again, it's working with my coach. It's really, and it's kind of like what we were talking about before with the negotiation and being comfortable in my skin and being comfortable to hear no. And, making sure that I don't give off because I would tell her, this person wants to negotiate with me. She said, you know what? You have to really look, Louna, if you're not giving off some kind of energy, that makes everyone want to negotiate with you. So I'm always assessing that because sometimes I'm talking and I'm already, the way I may phrase the statement, I've already given the person an option that they can negotiate. So I'm always, before I call someone, I practice and I try to be concise so I don't talk myself out of the deal or I don't give the person an out or an opportunity to negotiate.
Yeah, that's a great message because I find myself rambling too. So I'm going to do what you do and start practicing before I make the phone call. So if you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group, what would your message be in terms of being a business owner?
It's definitely a great opportunity. You learn a lot about yourself and understanding too that in life, Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of my favorite books. And understanding life that it's definitely a journey. There are a lot of things that I've learned along the way when I've gone to work certain places. There's, understanding that you're picking up certain skill sets, you're building. And then now I am applying that to me being an entrepreneur. And you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy the goods, the highs, the lows. Sometimes, in the beginning, I would record myself just to see today was a good day, today was a bad day. I worked through this or whatever. And I would look back on it and say, wow, I remember when I was stressing out about this. But definitely understanding it is a journey. Life is a journey. It's a building block, but it's a great, great opportunity. And there's no failure. It's all about how do you pick yourself back up and move forward? How do you fail forward? That is one thing. Don't limit yourself, because that's one of the things I learned during COVID. Life is short. We definitely need to go out and pursue our dream.
Yeah, we really
At least
do.
give it a try. You don't know until you give it a try.
You just have to jump. You definitely just have to jump. So what has been your best experience so far? What lessons did you learn from it? And how do you intend to apply it to your everyday life, or continue to apply it to your everyday life?
I mean, running Anchor 365 has been my best experience overall. You know, just the support that I've gotten from certain individuals that I've worked with, those relationships that I've built, those people who have believed in me. And then there are some, you know, that for whatever reason wasn't able to work with me, to open doors for me, but it's okay. But just being able to really start my business and just have individuals who are willing to work with me, to have nurses, you know, that I've worked with before that were willing to travel from Palm Beach to Broward for me. They were like, well, I'll do it. It's a good distance. I'll do it. Or, you know, to go to Martin or whatever it may be. I really, truly appreciated those individuals. And some of them tell me it's because you've made a huge impact in my life. When I was working, you know, on the floor, I was working with you and you were my administrator. So just to have those support and those individuals that started off with me, they're such professionals and so committed that they really help with the branding that I want for my business.
Wow. Speak about being a positive influence to others. So now they're saying, hey, I'm gonna pay it back or pay it forward. So who has been, or dead or alive, the top 3 most influential people in your life so far?
I would say my eldest sister has definitely been influential and supportive, because she's like my mom. Then I have another sister who has supported me so much with Anchored, from helping me find business, from listening to my ideas, for being my consultant, you know, giving me tough love. And definitely my husband, he's my anchor. Every time when I would come home and I said, I want to try this, I really want to try this. And he was like, all right, let's put a plan together. Let's look at, you know, what you have and make it happen. Just let me know and I'll be there to support you. And I know you said 3, but I would definitely say Michelle Obama when she wrote the book Becoming.
Wow.
Because when I was listening to that, I was like, wow, I can relate to that, because I always feel like I'm becoming. I'm always questioning, you know, like I did this year. Can I do it again? So it's always, I really, really like that book, because I do feel in life we're always becoming, and it's okay to be coming.
Wow.
It is always exciting.
Michelle Obama, what she said, when they go low, we go high, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I actually read that book too. Well, the audio version. I didn't read it. I listened to it. So great book. And there's another one. I think her name is Sheryl Sandberg. She used to be at Facebook, called Lean In. That's a good one too. So I highly recommend the book Lean In.
Oh, definitely. I've written it down.
I just love motivators, you know, so and anywhere that you can find it, be it a book or someone, or just listening to something motivational. I absolutely love it. Or Sarah Jakes. I love Sarah Jakes. I don't know if you listen to Sarah Jakes Roberts, but she's also good. All right. So we have reached the part in the interview where I ask you, if you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I have not asked you so far?
Wow, you ask a lot of great questions, and some that, you know, stumped me a little. I mean, I think you did a pretty great job.
Thank you. But there's one question I thought about when you mentioned your husband. Is there meaning with the word Anchored 365?
You know, when we were getting married, I wanted to come up with a logo for our invitations and so forth. And I had an anchor. And I came up with that because I was like, you know what, with him coming into my life and us, you know, coming together and our kids and everything, he's anchored me. We've anchored one another. And so I was like, you know, I was trying to come up with a name. And I said, what is it that I really, truly want to do? I really want to help. And I really want to try to help anchor, you know, our candidates, our clients, you know, provide stability So that's why I came up with the anchor. And then the 365, of course, is, 365 days out of the year. We want to anchor you. We want to help support you.
Oh, well, beautiful. I was like, I never asked her. See? But there was one question that I didn't ask you. Well, again, where can our listeners connect with you online, social media, telephone? Share your contact information.
So definitely on our website is Anchored 365. And on there's links to our Instagram and Facebook. You also can call me at 561-208-5323. 561-208-5323.
All right. Well, Luna, it was a pleasure speaking to you, hearing about Anchor 365, hearing about your journey, and just getting your viewpoint on the healthcare sector itself, and having our listeners be a part of that journey. So thank you so much for taking some time to chat and speak with the Clads family. And thank you so much for talking with Clads. Bye, guys.
Do you want to provide a memorable experience at your event? Book Pin Bounce at 561-727-5488.
Pin Bounce offers bounce houses, cotton candy machines, tables, chairs, and other event services in Palm Beach County, Florida. We offer all you need in one place. Follow us on social media using @PinBounce, and to book your event, call us at 561-727-5488. Remember, we put the P in party with the Pin Bounce touch.
Go Pin Bounce!
Clads Resources and Consulting values its customers. Our planner Footsteps to My Vision is a 13-month planner that can be used for 5 years. It walks you through SMART goals, SWOT analysis, action planning, and holds you accountable through 3 monthly check-ins. We work only with top quality materials, innovative designs, and verified suppliers, which are guaranteed to deliver to our high expectations, because when it comes to our customer satisfaction, there's no room for compromise. Made with high-quality PU leather and paper planner helps you focus on achieving your goals by giving you a sense of personal and professional satisfaction. Some of the amazing features of this product: Vision Board Planner, luxury pen, 8GB USB flash drive, wireless mouse, ultra-elegant packaging box, available in 5 stunning colors: black, red, gold, pink, navy blue. Material: PU leather. 13-month planner. Elastic band for easy handling. Our Footsteps to My Vision is available at Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, our website, and at Walmart. You may also follow us at www.cladsresources.com, Instagram, Clads Resources, Facebook, www.facebook.com/cladsresources/.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Clads Resources and online at www.cladsresources.com. Our planner, Footsteps to My Vision, is also located on our website or on Facebook, Instagram, or Amazon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, keep creating your footpath to your vision.